Okay, you're all familiar with this tool. This is the pocket hole jig. And I love using this thing. It's even portable. It's the Drill Master pocket hole jig, portable pocket hole jig. And this thing is just great. If you haven't seen it in my videos already, it means you haven't watched very many of my videos. But this thing, for when you're framing stuff up that you want to butt wood together, and you want it to be strong because there's going to be weight involved or whatever, you don't want it flimsy, which is kind of what happens when you know, the way Shasta stapled everything together, it was pretty flimsy. So if you want stuff to be strong and stable, this is the way to go. So I'll show you what we're doing here. Okay, this is all that Shasta had for a bed frame right here. Let's see, this guy, let me move one of my other favorite tools out of the way. This is the bed frame. There's a lot more to it than this, but this is what shows. This here is what shows. You got a door that flops open here, and you got a cabinet here and a cabinet there. Then the rest of the framing all the way that will be spanning across the back is what holds your bed up. But this is the front opening and the only thing that shows. And they only made this thing about 33, just big enough to span the opening between the two cabinets, which you can see, if you can see this line here, that's all. I mean, boy, Shasta really knew how to be chintzy on materials. They didn't put anything more in these trailers than they had to keep it together. So what we're trying to do is make a new one of these, because as you can see, this wood's rotted, and besides that, I'm going to do it a little bit different. Now what they had was, they had a 1x2 frame like this, then they had frames sitting across it like this, alright, and framework anyway, and that's how and then they had more of these guys all the way across to span the bed to hold everything up. We're going to do things a little bit different, and this comes from my framing knowledge, framing houses. Instead of having frames sitting across on top of other frames, what we're going to do is we're going to use 1x3s. Now this is a 1x4 that we're starting with, and that's so that it sticks up a little bit in front and leaves enough room for a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. Okay, this is going to be the front, this is the back, and then all we're going to do is we're going to have 1x3s, which are actually, when they're milled down, they're down, you know, it gets down to 2.5 inches. These guys are going to go a 1/2 inch down like that, and along the back where they connect, they will be what's called pressure blocked. Pressure blocking is when you put a piece like this, okay, between the frames, and screw in this way, alright, and then you put another piece here and screw in this way, and then you go over here for your next and you do the same thing. So this is the block, the pressure block that holds everything in there. Alrighty? So, at any rate, let's get on with it, because I want to show you where the pocket hole jig comes in. Okay, there's what the frame's going to look like when it's screwed together, and of course after you've made your measurements, because they're all different, then you want to make sure that the door is going to fit in there. Okay? Make sure that you did everything right, which it does with a little bit of clearance. Okay? Remember, this is the front. I'll set this somewhere where it won't get too badly hurt. And I'm not showing you everything else because it's different on every trailer. We happen to be talking about a 57 Shasta, but just to give you an idea, the cabinets on the street side are wider than the cabinets on the curb side. And this is the front, will be coming this way. This will be the kitchen cabinet, this will be the closet, okay? Coming this way, looking towards the front of the trailer. Going back the other way will be the bed. So as you can see, what I've done is I've used my square and scribed some lines, found out where everything's supposed to be, so that this will be centered once this piece goes in and goes all the way to the walls. The bottom piece doesn't have to go all the way to the walls. There's no reason for it at all. And what I'm going to do is, it only needs to really go to here. But this is a piece that I had lying around, that's how long it was, so I centered it in there. That was the whole plan. Alright, so now let's get to the pocket hole jig. That's our framing layout. Okay, here's how you use the pocket hole jig. So what we want is, we want 2 screws in each one of these. They'll go in at an angle and screw into the top and the bottom of the frame. So what we do here, and you'll read the instructions when you get one of these, so it'll tell you how to do all this. We just simply take our piece that we want to drill, get it centered in there, held down like that, and we go ahead and drill holes. Nothing to it really. Now this has a collar on it that I've adjusted so that this point just barely makes it to the bottom. Doesn't quite get all the way to the bottom. Okay, now we flip it over. And make sure you're doing it on the same side. Into it. Have it. Okay, this, by the way, I've just got it screwed to my bench with 2 screws. So you unscrew it and take it with you. Alright, now I'm going to change to the drill bit, to the screw gun bit. Set it to slow for screwing. Now we're going to line our pieces back up again. And what I'm going to do is use a clamp hold these together so they're nice and flush. Alright, and I want to make sure that they're square too. So we'll take a bar clamp. These things aren't very expensive. Put it on there. Okay, I'm going to pull everything down this way a bit so that I have room to play with the bar clamp. There we go. Get everything lined up, push down flush, and just go ahead and tighten that up. You want this flush because the birch is going to lay on it. There we go. I'm going to bar clamp this side too, just so everything's square. We're not ready to screw it yet because I haven't ran it through the pocket hole jig yet, but I still want everything nice and square. So, now we just go ahead. It comes with screws, but what I like to use is number 8 by 1 inch sheet metal screws. They're a little easier to find, and simply screw everything together. There's that side. I'll go ahead and pocket hole jig the other side, and we'll screw it together. Okay, I guess I had the shot off. I forgot. See, it's pretty tough when you're trying to make time, but this will show you the screwing in part. Okay, so we switch to the long number 2 driver. Make sure your surface is clean so you can get these things nice and flush. Like that. And I'll go ahead and take our screws and screw it together on the slow speed. You don't want to go that fast. These bar clamps are pretty cheap, and they're a real good thing to have for things like this. Holds everything together while you're fastening everything. And there you go. There is the front of our frame for the bed. Just like that. Screw together nice and tight. I've already cut a piece of plywood paneling for the front, which will go just like that, and I will cut a hole in it for the door, which I'm going to make for those lines right now. Okay, and it sticks up a ½ an inch here, and that takes up for where the plywood will be. So let's go ahead and draw a line for our hole. Get this all centered. You want it flush with the bottom, not with the top, because you want a ½ inch for plywood up at the top. Okay. Make sure it's flush. Centered. Okay. And we'll go ahead and mark out our opening. You can also use a router to do this, to cut this hole out. If you want. I'm not going to bother with the router. I'm just going to do it with a skill saw. Now the way Shasta did this was with pieces. They had a piece going across the top, 2 legs, and a piece going across the bottom separately. So they were using scrap. I like to use one piece. It's quicker. Alrighty, now first I'm going to use my stapler, my air stapler, which you can get these for about 28 bucks at Harbor Freight. Just to staple this thing in to hold it still while I hit it with the palm nailer. As you know, or as I told you, these extreme ends, 1 inch on each side, will be up against the cabinet, so you won't be able to see this. So let's put 2 staples here. Couple of staples here, same on the other side. This will hold it all together. Now we'll go for the palm nailer, because those twisty screws or twisty nails are going to show. Alright, I'm trying to beat the battery here because one of my batteries went dead and I'm down to 1. This one's almost dead. So what I've done here, first I sanded, because it's harder to sand when you have the little twisty nail heads in there. Then I pre-drilled holes about 6 inches apart all the way around, 4 inches on the sides, and stuck my nails in so that they're sticking up. The only reason you have to do that with the twisty nails is they have round heads. And there is a magnet in here, and that will hold the nails if they're large enough and if they have flat heads, but if they're round heads, it won't do it, because they'll sit crooked. So now we just go ahead and put them in. There we go. I'm still getting used to this thing. Oops. If you miss, you're going to make a dent in the wood like I just did. So I'm still learning. Don't miss, whatever you do. I'll have to do something about sanding that little dent out or something. There. If you see any that are sticking out a little bit, give them another little hit. So I'll do that all the way around. You also want to make sure you don't put any of these twisty nails where your hardware goes, your closing hardware, your hinges and your latch. So when you're measuring out for these things, make sure that you don't put anything in the way of that. Alright, so we have our finished product here. All we have to do is go ahead and shellac it, and then we can install it. And once this is installed, then we can go ahead and wrap all the way around on the inside of the trailer there, the back area there for the bed, with that bed framing. A sheet of 1/2-inch plywood goes on top, and that's it. And there it is with the door in it, so as you can see the door fits. That's what you want it to do. That's the access door for under the bed, and it opens towards us. So I'm going to go ahead and shellac that now and do a little bit of other shellacking I have to do. And then we'll go ahead and install this frame, and I'll stick the camera in the trailer with me, and we'll frame in for the bed. Right now I got to charge this battery. Well, I've got the bed frame all in. All it needs is a piece of plywood on top. I'm going to tell a secret about this trailer that I just found out when I built this bed frame. I never knew it before either. It's 1.25 inches wider at this front here, right here. It's a whole 1.25 inches wider this way than it is in the back, that way. Don't ask me. I have no idea. That's the way it was built at the factory. And I'm just now finding this out. I'm at the tail end. I'm at the last 3 days of this trailer. I've almost completely rebuilt it, and I just found that out when I built the bed. What a mind blow. It's going to be a lot of fun carving the plywood in. It's going to be in 2 pieces. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think this afternoon, it's about 3 o'clock, so, and I haven't even had lunch yet. I'm going to have lunch, and then I'm going to put that door on. And I'll put that door on. And I'll put this door on. It's a big tall one. And then finally this one. This will be the last one because I set stuff there, as you can see. There's what the curtains look like. At least one of them. Boy, can you believe that? Look at that. Isn't that neat? Little trailers and tent camping, little streams and stuff. Isn't that just neat? Look at that. It's like a little trailer rally on the curtains. I mean, that's just great. Cindy made these for me. Or for Ed, actually, the owner of the trailer. He's picking it up a week from tomorrow. No, a week from the day after tomorrow. And I'm taking off in the morning for a skydiving meet a couple 100 miles away. Our Grumpy Gimpy Old Farts with Attitudes meet. If you're interested, you can go to www.airtrash.com. Airtrash is one word. Airtrash.com. That's my skydiving website for our club, our skydiving club. you can go there and check out what's going on with Old Farts. We're just a bunch of old skydivers who walk a little slower, move a little slower, and skydive a little slower. Well, we still go 110 miles an hour. We just don't get together as fast as we used to in the air. But we celebrate our age and the oldness of our sport every year up in Taft, California. So I'm heading off for there. In the meantime, this is all that's left to do with this trailer. I got to finish the screen door. I got to put screen on it, and I have to finish shellacking the actual frame. I made a new sliding door for it and everything. So a new screen. I got some new screen molding that's shellacked I have to put on there to hold the screen on, and I have to put clear shellac on the door frame itself. We have to hang all the curtains, and I have to make the leg for the table. I just have a stick of wood holding it up there. Now I don't have time to do that today, otherwise I'd finish it. But there's the table sitting where it's supposed to go. And the owner, when he saw the table in my truck, a picture of it, he thought it was too big. No, it's perfect. Right there. And it's a little harder to get into on this side, so I made the cut just a little bit steeper there, just to make it a little easier to get into. But it's not noticeable. It looks pretty asymmetrical, actually. So there it is. Dang. I gotta do a couple little touch-ups here and there. Hang the curtains. Finish the screen door. And finish the leg for the table. And that's it. We'll be done. Have a great weekend, folks. I know I will.
Yeah!
Hey,
that's gonna make for a great exit shot. We got tangled up again, but oh well.